Welcome back to ADCGH Spoilers channel. Today, we uncover a shocking turn of events that could forever change the lives of some of Port Charles's most beloved characters. The Quartermaine Mansion is no longer just a place of power and prestige, it's a battlefield of heartbreak, hidden agendas, and impossible choices. At the center of it all? A single, unexpected pregnancy that threatens to upend everything. Sasha Gilmore Corbin never intended to be in this situation, yet here she is, pregnant from a one-night stand, thrown into a storm of uncertainty. What should be a deeply personal and life-altering moment for her has suddenly become a focal point of obsession, grief, and potential manipulation for those around her. And no one is more affected than Brooke Lynn Quartermaine. For months, Brooke Lynn has struggled with an agonizing, silent war against fate, the devastating realization that she and Harrison Chase cannot conceive a child together. Infertility isn't just a medical condition, it's an emotional earthquake, shaking the very foundation of her dreams. She had envisioned a future where she and Chase would build a family together, filling their home with laughter, love, and the promise of a new generation. But now, those dreams feel shattered beyond repair. Brooke Lynn has been trying to remain strong, holding herself together in the presence of others, but behind closed doors? She's unraveling. Her mind, once sharp and focused, now lingers obsessively on what she can't have. It gnaws at her how unfair it is that Sasha, someone who wasn't even trying for a child, is now expecting. What starts as painful jealousy soon morphs into something deeper, something darker. The growing obsession, a mother's desperation, or a dangerous fixation? At first, Brooke Lynn tries to suppress her emotions, convincing herself that Sasha's pregnancy is none of her business. But the more she tells herself to let it go, the more impossible it becomes. The thought takes root in her mind, growing like ivy, twisting, tangling, consuming her rationality. Every time she sees Sasha, her mind fixates on one overwhelming question: why not me? As days turn into weeks, Brooke Lynn starts seeing Sasha's baby not as someone else's child, but as a potential answer to her prayers. An idea begins to form, one that she doesn't dare say out loud at first. What if she and Chase were to raise this baby instead? The notion terrifies her. It's outrageous. It's unthinkable. But is it impossible? Could Sasha, overwhelmed, unprepared, and emotionally vulnerable, be convinced that adoption is the best option? Could Brooke Lynn present it as an opportunity rather than a loss? The more she considers it, the more plausible it seems. A house of grief, the Quartermaine Mansion's silent war. The energy inside the Quartermaine Mansion is suffocating. There's no joy, no relief, just grief hanging in the air like an oppressive fog. Dante Falconeri is drowning in his own sorrow, mourning the brutal murder of Sam McCall, a loss that has left him shattered, his grief manifesting as anger, self-destruction, and an inability to move forward. Chase, too, is suffering, but in a different way. He sees Brooke Lynn's pain and feels powerless to fix it. Their home has become a place of heartbreak, where no one can find solace. But amidst all of this sorrow, Sasha's pregnancy stands out, an unignorable, almost cruel reminder of life moving forward when everyone else feels stuck in despair. Brooke Lynn watches as Sasha struggles to adjust to the reality of impending motherhood, and instead of feeling sympathy, she sees opportunity. The seed of an idea begins to grow into something dangerously close to obsession. The proposition, a line that should never be crossed at some point, the emotions become too much to suppress. Brooke Lynn, unable to hold back her desperation any longer, does the unthinkable. She approaches Sasha. Not as a friend, not as a fellow woman experiencing emotional turmoil, but as someone with a solution. Her voice trembles as she suggests it. What if you let me and Chase raise the baby? Silence. Sasha's heart pounds. Did she hear that correctly? Brooke Lynn scrambles to justify it. She presents it as a compassionate offer, as something that would benefit them all. Sasha is overwhelmed. She wasn't planning on this, she has no idea what she's doing, and wouldn't it be easier if the baby had a stable home with two parents who are ready? But beneath Brooke Lynn's carefully crafted words, there's an unmistakable undercurrent of desperation. Sasha is horrified. She never even considered giving up her child. The very idea feels like a betrayal of everything she stands for. What was once a friendship now feels like something far more sinister. How could Brooklyn even ask this? Brooklyn, sensing Sasha's resistance, panics. This was her last hope. She had convinced herself that Sasha would see this as a logical choice, but instead, she's met with shock and rejection. And now, Brooklyn is faced with a terrifying reality: she might have just destroyed everything. Fallout, a scandal that could change everything. The ripples of this proposition won't go unnoticed. If word gets out, it could send shockwaves through Port Charles. Chase might be appalled by what Brooklyn has done. How will he react when he learns that she tried to pressure Sasha into giving up her baby? Could this cause an irreparable rift between them? The Quartermaines may not support her. Even her own family, known for their scheming ways, might see this as a step too far. Sasha could go public with this. What if she tells everyone about Brooklyn's desperate request? Could this scandal ruin Brooklyn's reputation permanently? One thing is certain: Brooklyn has crossed a line she can never uncross. Brooklyn's future, a path of redemption or ruin. Brooklyn is at a crossroads. Her obsession has led her down a path of manipulation and questionable morality. But where does she go from here? Does she try to repair her relationships, admitting that grief led her to make a mistake? Does she double down on her actions, convincing herself that she's still right and that Sasha just needs more time? Or does she spiral further, letting this rejection push her into even more desperate and unhinged behavior? Her actions have consequences. Has she ruined her friendships forever? Or will she find a way to redeem herself? Final thoughts: the unfolding drama in Port Charles. Sasha's unexpected pregnancy has done more than change her life. It has exposed the deepest fears and desires of those around her. Brooklyn's reaction has revealed just how fragile her emotional state truly is. So what happens next? Will Brooklyn come to terms with her reality, or will she continue down a dangerous path? Could Sasha's refusal push Brooklyn even further into desperation? Will Chase be able to accept the woman Brooklyn is becoming, or will this tear them apart? One thing is certain: this is just the beginning of an emotional roller coaster. What do you think, GH fans? Is Brooklyn past the point of redemption, or is there still hope for her? Next, we discuss a truly heartbreaking loss for General Hospital fans and the residents of Port Charles. The passing of Leslie Charleson, a legendary actress who played Monica Quartermaine, has left fans mourning, but it also raises important questions. How will GH bid farewell to Monica? What will become of her legacy? And who stands to gain or lose the most from her passing? Let's take a deep dive into what Monica's absence means for the Quartermaine family, General Hospital, and Port Charles as a whole. A mother's unbreakable bond. Jason Morgan and Monica's final wishes. Monica Quartermaine was a woman who devoted herself not only to medicine but also to her family, especially to her son, Jason Morgan. Through all the turbulence in their relationship, Jason always remained the center of Monica's heart. Despite his dangerous lifestyle and emotional distance, Monica never truly gave up hope that one day, he would return to her. And now, in her final moments, the question remains: did she leave her fortune to Jason? Given Monica's deep desire for Jason to find redemption, it's possible that she arranged her will in a way that encourages him to change his ways. Could she have included stipulations in her estate plan, forcing Jason to make a choice: continue his life in the mob, or finally step away and honor her legacy? If Jason were to inherit the bulk of Monica's wealth, would he even accept it? He's never been one for material possessions, and money means little to a man like Jason. However, would he respect his mother's dying wish enough to reconsider his path? If GH chooses to go this route, Monica's passing could become a defining moment in Jason's character arc, one that tests his loyalty, morality, and future direction. A bitter battle, Tracy Quartermaine versus Monica's will. While Monica's love for Jason was clear, there's another, more complicated relationship that could come into play: her long-standing rivalry with Tracy Quartermaine. For decades, Monica and Tracy butted heads over everything: family power struggles, the Quartermaine estate, Alan Quartermaine's affections, control of ELQ, and now, in Monica's absence, one final war could erupt. Monica was granted ownership of the Quartermaine mansion after Alan's passing, a decision that never sat well with Tracy. The lavish estate, filled with decades of family history, remained a sore spot for Tracy, who always felt it should have belonged to her. Now, the big question looms: what will happen to the Quartermaine mansion? If Monica chose to leave it to Tracy in a surprising act of sentimentality, it would be a shocking twist that proves she still respected her rival, despite their battles. However, if Monica gave the mansion to Jason, or worse, donated it to General Hospital, Tracy could be left infuriated beyond measure. Would Tracy accept such an outcome? Not likely. Instead, she might fight it in court, turning Monica's final wishes into a drawn-out legal war that fractures the Quartermaine family even further. A legacy in medicine. Did Monica leave it all to GH? Outside of her family, Monica's true passion was medicine. As one of GH's most esteemed doctors, Monica dedicated more time to the hospital than she ever did to her own home. It wouldn't be surprising if she willed a large portion of her estate to General Hospital, ensuring that her life's work would continue long after her passing. Could GH receive an unexpected windfall? Will this anger certain family members, like Tracy or Drew, who expected a larger inheritance? Could this create new conflicts within the Quartermaine clan over Monica's final decisions? One thing is certain: if Monica chose to prioritize medicine over family in her will, the aftermath will be explosive. The emotional fallout: who will grieve the hardest? Monica Quartermaine's death will undoubtedly send shockwaves through Port Charles. But who will take it the hardest? Jason Morgan, who may finally realize how much she meant to him now that she's gone. Drew Quartermaine, who has struggled with his identity and relationship with the Quartermaines. Will Monica's passing push him to step up and fill a new role in the family? Tracy Quartermaine, whose rivalry with Monica was as much a defining part of her life as it was Monica's. Will she mourn, or will she fight to control what's left behind? Ned Quartermaine, who may feel the weight of keeping the family together in Monica's absence. With Monica gone, the entire Quartermaine household is on the verge of collapse. Can they come together to honor her memory, or will greed and long-standing feuds tear them apart? How GH might handle Monica's exit. Given Leslie Charleson's passing, GH writers now face the challenging task of properly sending off Monica Quartermaine. So far, the show has kept Monica's character alive but off-screen, recovering from health issues. Now, with Charleson gone, the show has no choice but to address Monica's fate directly. How will GH handle it? Will Monica's death happen suddenly, or will the show give her a more emotional farewell? Could GH use flashbacks, past footage, or heartfelt tributes to honor both the character and the actress? Might the show bring back former cast members for a special episode dedicated to Monica's memory? One thing is certain: this is the end of an era. Monica was more than just another character, she was a pillar of General Hospital. Her absence will be deeply felt by both fans and characters alike. Final thoughts: the end of a Quartermaine era. With Monica Quartermaine's passing, GH is losing more than just a doctor. The Quartermaine family dynamic will shift forever. Jason and Tracy will be forced to confront their own legacies. General Hospital itself will change in ways we can't yet predict. Monica spent 46 years shaping the landscape of GH. Now, her departure will reshape it once more. But the biggest question remains: how will Port Charles move on without her? What do you think, GH fans? Will Monica's legacy be honored the way she deserves, or will family feuds tarnish her final wishes? Next, we dive into one of the most shocking revelations to ever rock the Quartermaine, Falconeri, and Corinthos families. Secrets have been kept for years, lies have been carefully constructed, and now the entire foundation of these powerful families is about to be shattered beyond repair. The truth? Brooklyn Quartermaine and Dante Falconeri are parents, without even knowing it. As the walls of deception begin to crumble, who will be left picking up the pieces? And more importantly, who is truly responsible for this decades-long betrayal? A hidden past. The secrets that shook the Quartermaine Falconeri lineage. When Giovanni Gio Palmieri arrived in Port Charles, no one suspected that his presence would ignite a scandal that has been simmering beneath the surface for nearly 2 decades. But now, the truth has emerged. Gio isn't just another new face in town. He is the secret child of Brooklyn and Dante, a son they never even knew existed. The most shocking part? Brooklyn herself only knew half of the story. For years, she agonized over the fate of her child. She wondered whether she had a son or daughter, whether they were safe, whether they had a good life. She believed she had made the right decision in giving up her baby. But now, the horrifying reality sets in. Her own mother, Lois Cerullo, manipulated the situation in ways Brooklyn never imagined. Lois didn't just help Brooklyn through a difficult decision, she stole her agency entirely. She inserted herself into the adoption process, quietly orchestrating the details, ensuring that the child was never truly out of her reach. Brooklyn's world is crashing down. And she's not the only one who will feel the weight of this deception. Dante's fury, betrayed by Brooklyn or a victim of Lois' scheme? For Dante, this revelation is nothing short of life-altering. He always believed that Brooklyn had outgrown the reckless, selfish ways of her past. He had convinced himself that she was no longer the person who once lied, schemed, and manipulated to get what she wanted. But now, he is being forced to re-evaluate everything. Dante is blindsided. The fact that he has a son, a child who has been living in his home, interacting with him, forging a relationship with him without him ever knowing the truth is unfathomable. And Brooklyn? He doesn't know whether to resent her, pity her, or completely shut her out. However, Brooklyn had something that Dante never did, a choice. While she agonized over her pregnancy and eventual adoption decision, Dante was robbed of that option entirely. He was never given the chance to step up, to be a father, to decide for himself how he wanted to handle this life-changing situation. Instead, that choice was made for him by Lois. And that might be the most painful betrayal of all. Lois Cerullo, mastermind or manipulative mother? As much as Brooklyn is reeling from this revelation, she is not the only one with deep wounds to nurse. Lois Cerullo's deception isn't just a betrayal of Brooklyn, it's a betrayal of Dante, of Olivia, of the entire family. Her decision to keep Joe's identity a secret wasn't just an overstep, it was a carefully orchestrated manipulation. But why? Did Lois truly believe she was doing what was best for Brooklyn and Dante? Did she think that keeping their son a secret was a way to protect them both from a life they weren't ready for? Or did she have ulterior motives, ones that kept her in control of the situation? Lois' actions will have far-reaching consequences. Will Brooklyn ever be able to forgive her? Will Dante see her as a protective mother or a woman who stole his right to fatherhood? And what about Olivia, Dante's mother? She was Lois' best friend for years, but now that the truth is out, can Olivia ever look at Lois the same way again? Lois thought she was making a selfless choice. But in the end, her actions might cost her the trust and love of those she holds most dear. Did Sonny Corinthos play a role in the deception? One figure in this twisted saga stands out like a sore thumb, Sonny Corinthos. When Gio first arrived in town, Sonny claimed to have known his adoptive mother. That alone isn't necessarily suspicious. Sonny has ties to countless people from the neighborhood. But now that the truth is coming to light, his past interactions with Gio are raising serious red flags. Why didn't Sonny ever mention Gio to Carly over the years? Why was Sonny quietly funding Joe's education? Could it be that Sonny always knew the truth and chose to keep it hidden? If Sonny was aware of Joe's true lineage all along, then his hands aren't clean in this mess, either. If he chose to keep his grandson close while never revealing the truth to Dante or Brooklyn, it means that Lois wasn't acting alone. Could it be that both Sonny and Lois made a secret pact to keep Gio in their lives, but at the cost of betraying their own children? If so, that level of deception might be unforgivable. How will the Quartermain Falconeri Corinthos families handle the fallout? The unveiling of this secret is only the beginning. Now that the truth is out, the real battle begins. Brooklyn, Dante, Lois, and Sonny aren't the only ones affected by this bombshell. Others will soon be pulled into the drama, and the ripple effect will be massive. Ned Quartermain, how will Brooklyn's father react when he learns he was also kept in the dark? Could he turn on Lois, his former love, for what she's done to their daughter? Olivia Quartermain, Dante's mother, has been fiercely loyal to Lois over the years. But now that she knows what Lois did to her son, will their friendship survive? Gio Palmieri, what about the young man at the center of it all? How will he process the revelation that his adoptive family was actually a fabrication built on lies? Will he embrace his true parents or resent them for never searching for him? This isn't just a scandal. It's a betrayal that has fundamentally altered the course of several lives. Final thoughts: a family torn apart by secrets. The Quartermain Falconeri Corinthos families have faced many challenges over the years, but nothing quite like this. Will Brooklyn and Dante find a way to co-parent their son after all this time? Will Lois and Sonny be held accountable for their actions? Can these families ever recover from the deception that has shattered their trust? One thing is certain. Port Charles will never be the same again. What do you think, GH fans? Will Brooklyn and Dante find common ground, or is this a rift that can never be healed? Drop your thoughts below.